Good, so you can see here on Al that he's got the hands pressing down into the mat evenly. And he's got the arms nice and straight, so the inner elbows are moving in towards one another. Can you just bend your arms for me, Al? So sometimes this is what happens for beginners with downward dog, so we really need to focus on keeping the elbows nice and in. Shoulders down the spine, sit bones lifting, feet spread, and long, smooth and even breaths. And I'll come and join in again for the last one. And stepping the right leg forward in between the hands or jumping back in. Uttanasana and Utkatasana. And pressing down through the feet, inhale up. And exhale down to prayer position. Inhale, exhale here. And last one, inhaling the arms up above the head. And Utkatasana. And Uttanasana. Forward bend. And stepping or jumping the left leg back. Feet back to plank. Long, smooth and even breaths. And Adho Mukha Virasana. And upward facing dog. Now if you're finding that it's coming into your lower back a little bit in this pose, you just can come up to here. You don't need to straighten the arms, but you really need to make sure that you're engaging your core so you're not crunching into your lower back, particularly if you have lower back problems. Exhale back to downward facing dog. And then stepping the left leg forward or jumping the feet together. And Utkatasana. And inhale. And exhale down. Hands into prayer. And we're going to continue warming up the body, continue warming up the legs and the core. And we're going to come into Utkatasana again. So we're going to hold Utkatasana this time, taking long, smooth and even breaths. And just like we did in plank, the tailbone comes long and down and the core muscles move in towards the spine. Now just make sure that the knees don't come together. So Eleanor's got it really nice. The knees over the second toe here. That's really good. And the neck's nice and long. And the palms are facing one another. And then we're going to exhale and we're going to bend all the way down to Uttanasana. Good. And we can see again the crown of the head is towards the floor and the sit bones here, they lift up as much as you can up towards the sky. And always, always shoulders towards the sacrum. So the sacrum is a triangular bone at the back of your pelvis. So always scapula to sacrum. Keep the breaths long, smooth and even and continue to work the legs and feet just like you did in downward facing dog. And then we'll come into Utkatasana again, so bending the knees. Long, smooth and even breaths. So if you're finding with this that when you're coming through doing the practice with us that we're holding the poses for too long, then you just need to come out and rest and come back in when the breath has calmed down. So you never want to come to a place where the breath is caught or stuck or you're feeling out of breath. And when you're ready, pressing through the heels, reaching up towards the sky and hands back to prayer position. For Tadasana. Inhale, exhale here. And two more times. Inhaling the arms up. And exhale, Utkatasana. Good. So keeping the scapula down towards the sacrum. Core muscles working. Make sure the weight is in the heels. So often in this pose, students take the weight into the balls of the feet. If you just take the weights forward a little bit more, Eleanor, see these guys are so great that I have to take them into mistakes. So that there's more weight into the calves. You really want to be feeling it in the thighs because this pose is all about toning and strengthening the thighs, inner and outer, and the hips around that core area there. And coming down to Uttanasana. Good, long, smooth and even breaths. So Uttanasana, standing forward bend, is great for stretching out the back of the hamstrings. So with our core area, which is from here up to here, we want it to strengthen, but we also want flexibility there as well. So for a lot of people, their lower back problems actually come from too tight hamstrings. So this little series here we're doing is strengthening the quadriceps and the back of the hamstring, as well as stretching it. And coming into Utkatasana again. Great, long, smooth and even breaths, and pressing down through the heels and coming up to standing. That's it, and hands down to prayer position. Good. Inhale, exhale here. And we've got one more. So Utkatasana. Good. So keep the tailbone long. That's it, good. So that we're not sticking our butt out here like a duck. So we really want to keep it tailbone long this way. That's good. And the shoulders down. So soften the throat. That's always a good way to tell if you're straining too much, is by checking in with your throat and seeing how soft it is. Uttanasana. Great. Keep the feet broad. Keep the legs working. So for some of you, you can see on Eleanor here, her legs are nice and straight. She's got reasonably good hamstring flexibility. For Al, it's a little bit more challenging, so his knees are a little bit softer, and that's fine too. You'll still feel the stretch up the back of the hamstring. So the aim is to get to the straight knees, but that's fine too with slightly soft knees. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to come back up to Utkatasana for a couple of breaths. And then we're actually going to bend all the way down. Use your hands to help squat all the way down. And let's come to laying on our backs. So we'll keep warming up the core. So, arms up above the head. Good. And Urdhva Hastasana. So the legs are in Tadasana. The palms are facing one another. Good. And then we're going to curl up through the spine. So bring the hands back up past the shoulders, tuck the chin into the chest, curl up through the spine, curl up chin to chest, curl up through the spine, come up to sitting, reaching forward towards the toes. That's X. That's good. And then rolling back down again. Roll, 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 roll. Good. So moving up vertebrae by vertebrae when you come up to sitting. So really warming up the core muscles. And again, so we just keep going with this. That's it. Inhaling, curling up through the spine, reaching forward towards the toes, and then rolling back down. So you can work just with your own breath here if you need to, inhaling and exhaling. Good, and then coming forward again. So when you come down, reaching the arms through, tucking the chin into the chest, and that's it, reach the fingertips towards the toes. Good. And then back down again. That's looking great. And let's do 5 more of these. So tucking the chin into the chest. Reaching forward. And down again. That's it. So make sure when you come down as well that you're curling down vertebrae by vertebrae. So you can see as Eleanor comes up, she's tucking the chin into the chest, she's keeping the shoulders down, using her core and reaching forward. So again, Eleanor can come right down, or you can just come forward to touch your toes and curling back down. So you guys just keep going with your breath. Or for some of you, you might not be able to touch your toes even, and that's fine. You just come as far forward as you can.